All right, Shalom. Giving all honor, all praise, and all glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Rechak, Wadash. Double understood elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and salutations unto the Ophelic tabernacle of David scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. Now, I just want to do a lesson centered around, an incident that went viral, this past weekend, where you had, two individuals that were murdered on the Las Vegas Strip. Two Jakes, a Jake and his wife, and which actually you see here on the screen. These were basically their final moments before they got sent to the upper room. And I never knew about these people. Their channel was relatively small. They were known to be streamers. I don't even think they was from out here, but they would always come out here and they would stream their I guess their adventure and the things that they do out here. And people like to watch people do things online. I guess that's the new thing. You got people that like to stream and show their whereabouts, put every activity that they're doing online because people literally watch them, and they use their platform to react to other people. And that's just where we at in this society right now. All right, but unfortunately, their lives were cut short because they were in a quarrel with another streamer, another YouTuber, and they had I guess animosity built up for quite some time. The victims that were involved, they got into it with the guy because they came out here. I believe, based on what people have been saying, that some occurred between them over a year ago on Fremont Street, that's downtown Vegas. And ever since that incident happened, where they met up publicly, this guy, Finney the Legend, that's what he went by on his YouTube page. He since then have used his platform to ridicule the dude, antagonize him. And I guess the thing was, he wanted to stay on that dude's neck until he apologized for the incident. Because the other guy, the one who ended up killing them, he was the aggressor in that situation. It turned into an altercation, but it was diffused when people got involved and they, got in the middle and stopped it from escalating. So this was a situation that escalated over the course of time. And this is the end result, because multiple adults couldn't behave like adults, and they couldn't basically solve their situation, their issue. And that's the problem with this society in general. A lot of people, they're very impulsive. They react without thinking. They don't think things through before they take matters into their hands. And it leads to recklessness. Now, the actual suspect, I guess he got tired of being scoffed at. He's tired of being trolled on social media. He felt like it was taken away from his platform, and he was being threatened, because the guy was basically saying that he was threatening to strike his channel down. So it was a lot of back and forth going on. And instead of being bigger men and solving the issue, they just let it snowball. And this was basically the final result. Everybody basically took a L in this situation. All right. And that's why it's a blessing to be a part of this thing of ours, having these scriptures as our wisdom, because our wisdom It instructs us, and it prevents us from these type of situations when you apply it. All right. Now, one of the scriptures that we can start with is let's go here, because this is our law. This is a commandment. And the two victims were, Jake and his wife. They were two Judites, and the suspect, he looked like he was an Issacharite. So these were all Jakes that were involved. All right. And it showed you that, Jake have that evil eye, and they have that hatred towards each other. Now, according to our law, it tells us, let's go to Leviticus 19 and 17, and it says, "Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord." And our people, they're foreign, to this principle. All right. We've been divided. We've been divided and conquered by the enemy. And in these last days, this world is all about, being absorbed, to be selfish. Everybody's lovers of themselves. So Jake don't have that love for one another. And Jake just they can't control their spirit. They're quick to get ill-tempered. They're very reactive. So Jake, they just tend to crash out. And that's basically what this situation was. All right, this dude, he got upset and angry over a dude that constantly trolled him, which I understand. It's only so much you can take when somebody can continue to berate you online, on social media. All right, and constantly troll you and smear your name. But that doesn't give you the right to actually shed their blood. So now, dude just pretty much threw his life away. So the two Jakes that were put to death, they leave behind children that no longer have any parents. And now this dude, he's put away more than likely for the rest of his life. And now his wife and children are without. This is what happens when you don't think, when you just crash out. You don't think about anything. That's why the scriptures say, anger resteth in the bosom of fools. Because like the scriptures tell us, you when you angry, you don't use that as an opportunity to sin in your anger. Was that Ephesians 4? Yeah, this is Ephesians 4 and 26. This is all works of the flesh. All right. And the works of the flesh, man, it could be your ruin. It says, "Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath, neither give place to the devil." And that's what happened really between both of them, both parties. They maintained their anger against one another, and it snowballed for a while. And the devil took advantage. All right. And one dude, that spirit of vengeance got on him, and he couldn't contain his anger, and he went and looked for these people, and he stalked them while these people were streaming themselves live, which it wasn't wise at all for them to do. If you know that there's somebody with animosity and hostility built up, and you know that this dude is dealing with mental issues, like the Finney guy, the YouTuber, the streamer, he knew that other guy wasn't all the way there. He knew that dude was dealing with mental issues. But you come out here the very same time that this dude happened to be out here, and you know that he has it out for you. He's issuing all kind of threats, but you still gonna go out here and stream your life as if you're not reachable. So he pretty much gave that dude the drop on both of them. They out there on the strip, watching the Bellagio fountains. All right. They look like they having a time of their life. They happy. And this right here was the final moments of both of their life. Dude and his wife. And she got herself involved, which that's a whole nother thing. You know, this woman, she was out of order, basically jumping into an altercation that she really had no business being a part of. All right, you watch the actual clip, you see her get in the face of the actual dude who came to body them both. She got in his face and cussed him out. Didn't even know that he had a blower on him. He had the strap. He had the flicker, whatever Jake calls it. All right, and that spirit of vengeance was on him. So Satan took advantage of this whole situation, and it went left. And now everybody involved, you know, takes that L. But hey, that was judgment at the end of the day on everybody involved. You know, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off. All right, as far as the victims, you know, they got judged by the sword. Let me get that in Job 19 real quick. And, you know, getting attention and YouTube clout, that's never worth, you know, your life being taken. Or you know, being locked up for the rest of your life. All that over YouTube clout, that's never worthy of that. So nobody involved, you know, use common sense. Job 19:29, it says, "Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that you may know there is a judgment." Because that's basically what happened. They both went down by the sword. So that was part of their judgment. You know, but the other guy who did the act, you know, that it's a wrap for him too. You know, dude need to work on his he needed therapy. When you have anger issues, when you have a hot temper and you can't control yourself, you need help. Let me get a couple other precepts. Psalms 4 and verse 4. And let me read it in the NLT. This is Psalm 4 verse 4. And it says, "Don't sin by letting anger control you. Think about it overnight and remain silent." That means, hey, you got time to think. You know, think about your future. Think about the ramifications behind your actions if you was to carry it out. You know, you're thinking about your family or anybody that's close to you, the predicament you may put them in. So you have to really think. That's, you know, wisdom teaches you how to think, to move calculated. The scriptures also teach you about humility. What do the scriptures constantly tell you about pride? Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty look before a fall. And everybody involved, they had pride on them. The victims and the suspect, the perpetrator, they all had pride. And those two men, they was going at it because they had an ego. And the suspect that he took it upon himself to go and take them out over some internet beef. He clearly was egotistically fragile. He was very empty inside, man. And he let, you know, words, you know, he let the trolling get the best of himself. And it caused them to carry out this particular sin, which was murder. And this type of behavior is rampant now all throughout society. Everybody just crashing out. Everybody just quick to react. Everybody's just quickly to be violent. People don't know what it means to be peaceful. They don't understand conflict resolution skills, how to solve issues like adults. The scriptures tell us to in maliciousness be children, but in understanding to be men. You know? So this is, you know, the lack of wisdom is what led to this situation. All right. And Jake, they're destroyed for the lack of knowledge. So now this is a viral story, and it's sad because everybody involved pretty much they're done. They were the 2/3, you know, so you can expect the 2/3 to behave the way that they do. It just so happened that this story, you know, went viral because of how it transpired. This happened right on the Las Vegas Strip, you know, all the tourists involved, you know, a lot of tourists walking by. And as we speak, the tourism here has been suffering. It's taking a big hit. Not too many people come out here like they used to because things have changed. You know, a lot of niggas then moved out here. The price of everything has skyrocketed. You know, so people try to come here to affordable living, and now the price of living here is even going up now. So you got a lot of just people that are on edge, a lot of people off the liquor, off drugs, because you have 24/7 access to those vices. So it just makes the environment that much more dangerous. If you go out there on the strip, everybody's on something. Damn near the majority of the people you see walking, especially late at night, everybody's on something. They're under the influence, and you know, when the scriptures talk about when you drink, you know, excessively, it can cause quarreling. All right, was that in Sirach 31? And I'm pretty sure that's what threw the dude over the top. You know, the suspect, the Issacharite that was angry, that went and laid them down on the strip in front of men, women, little children. That dude had to have been liquored up. And he was looking for that dude for a while. You know, there was a footage of him in his car, basically saying that what he was finna come and do to old boy, because he knew that he was in town. So that dude was more than likely, you know, he was probably drinking, liquored up. So he got numb and put spirits on him before he wouldn't carry out the act. See if I can find it. Yep, Sirach 31 at verse 29, it says, "But wine drunken with excess maketh bitterness of the mind, with brawling and quarreling. Drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool till he offend," basically till he commits iniquity. "It diminisheth strength and maketh wounds." All right, so now I'm pretty sure that dude, he got so fed up, he got liquored up, and that increased the courage to go out there to carry out that act right in front of all those people out there, man. So that the environment is no longer safe, and that's what you got out there. That's why it be all type of incidences that be taking place. So Vegas is clearly not what it used to be. There's a lot of crash outs. There's a lot of nigga activity, a lot of crime. And that's why in these last days, we always stress for you brothers and even you sisters out there to be circumspect. Constantly looking over your shoulder. You can't get caught lacking out here, man. Be circumspect. Don't be careless. Don't be always on your phone, looking down, glued to your phone all the time, especially when you out public. Because there's a bunch of crash outs, man. A bunch of spirits out there. And unfortunately for this couple, they got caught lacking because they damn sure they wasn't circumspect. Streaming live, so the man that's after you, he sees exactly where you at. That's how he was able to locate you. And this happens all the time on social media. Dudes be mouthing off on Instagram Live, Facebook Live, or whatever. They'll be streaming, and then the op be right there. Be, you know, they'll be 2 minutes away, getting your location. And this is sad what society has come to. But hey, you can thank this devil. You know, this is his world. And the internet, it's a gift and a curse. But it's definitely destroyed the psyche of the majority of these people. You got these people really out of their mind. So anyway, this is just a commentary on this situation. All right, let me play some of this.
Breaking news: 2 people got hit with a projectile weapon on live stream in Vegas. It was a black couple. The YouTube channel it happened on was Finney the Legend. So Finney, he's live streaming with his wife on Vegas in front of Bellagio, right? And this guy, this other YouTuber named Manny, the channel name is Sin City Family. You see him briefly, he's stalking, looking, whatever, and then bam, fires 7 shots. Just shoots at Finney first. His wife is like surprised, like, what? Oh my gosh. She picks up the camera, goes up to him, and then you hear a shot, and then the camera just falls. In another video, you see her laying down with, it looks like blood coming from her head. So unfortunately, like, she may have passed away. But back to the live stream, you see Finney. You don't see.
So you see the smiles. You know, they look like they happy, enjoying they time in Sin City, not realizing what was getting ready to happen just minutes later. All right, and that's why, hey, we have no room to boast or be proud, because like the scriptures say, our life is as a vapor. 1 minute you here and 1 minute you gone. That was at James 4. Because I'm pretty sure they had plans like the day before. You know, I'm pretty sure they was out and doing their thing, and they had plans like, yeah, we're gonna go and we're gonna hit the strip up. We're gonna, you know, bring our camera. We're gonna live stream, and we're gonna, you know, get some drinks. We're gonna talk to people, you know, socialize with people. And that's what, you know, what drew, I guess, viewers to their channel, to see stuff like that. But they had no idea that that was going to be the end for them. James 4 and James 4 and 13, it says, "Go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a city, and continue there a year, and buy and sell and get gain. Whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then vanisheth away." It can happen so fast, man. You would never know. All right, because nobody knows their time anyway. But especially when you are out there and you're carefree, you know, you're dwelling in pleasure, tragedy can strike suddenly without you knowing, quick and fast and easy. All right. This dude took them. They didn't think that they would get gunned down in the middle of everybody on the Las Vegas Strip, man. Hey, nigga, Tupac, he got sprayed a couple of blocks away from the Strip. All right, one of the biggest rappers ever. All right, and dude got took out riding shotgun. Right there in the heart of the of the Strip on a fight night. So if the Lord, you know, wants you and it's your time, he gonna get you. All right, so that's why you shouldn't have this attitude of being prideful. Let me get Ecclesiastes verse 12, and let me get it in the AMP. And it says, "For man also does not know his time of death. like fish caught in a treacherous net and birds caught in a snare, so the sons of men are ensnared in an evil time when a dark cloud suddenly falls on them. And that's what happened to this couple, man. Okay? You never know.
But you hear like police like performing CPR or something, rendering aid on one of them, presumably Finney, and then I believe he's taken away. I hear he's in critical condition. There's no confirmation at the moment, but based off the video, people are saying that, and I presume that unfortunately the wife, Bubbly, died. That's what I presume, and that's what I'm hearing. And we know who did it. It was on camera. I'm hearing there's like a helicopter and SWAT and stuff at his place, Manny's place, the alleged shooter. This is wild. Like apparently, another YouTuber, CW Media in Vegas, he goes by Community Watch Dog Media. He was saying that like Manny, the alleged shooter, his views, his revenue and stuff was going down. So it wasn't just a beef. Like that was like his life. His like notoriety and stuff was going down. The funny thing is, how people who do this stuff, they tend to be like, there may be stuff that happens before, like they may be violent, right? So I just did basic research, and apparently like a month ago, at least that's when the video was uploaded, but he assaulted this guy named Jojo in Vegas. Like Jojo was streaming or recording or something. He walked up to Manny, and then Manny just punches him in the face, and then he got a little bit of damage. Jojo got a little bit of damage on him.
So in other words, the other guy, the killer, he already demonstrated that he has history of, violence. All right, he's ill-tempered. So he already shown you that this guy he's clearly unstable. So why continue to antagonize that guy? Sometimes you got to understand when to, cut it off. This couple, they had things to say about the guy, but if you continue, it's only going to just build up, and that's what ended up happening. They pushed that mentally unstable dude to the edge, and he went and looked for him with the spirit of vengeance on him. All right, he had a death angel on him. All right, he was looking for them for over a day, and he ended up catching up to him right here. Sometimes you never know, who you can cause to act out like that. That's why scriptures also say this as well. Let's go to just Sirach 9. Yeah, Sirach 9 and 13. It says, "Keep thee far from the men that have the power to kill, so shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city." And that dude, he had the power to kill. The dude was tooled up. And what did Jake care? We finna continue to stream live and do what we gonna do. And that prideful attitude got Jacob out of there. So everybody involved, they took the L. And good riddance, for everybody involved. Now Jake, now they in their right mind. They know the truth now. Whoever these victims are, their spirit, I'm pretty sure it's crying up to the Lord for what was done. And so that the Issacharite that did that, he's not going to get away either. Scriptures say not to avenge yourselves. He that taketh vengeance shall basically receive vengeance from the Lord. All right. So this teaches us, especially those of us that are in the truth, to learn how to, just, take the low. All right. And also, like Paul said, live to be peaceful with all men if it be possible. Because they could have easily, quelled the situation before it got this ugly. And you don't know who you dealing with out there, man. So, yeah, man. Hey, let me, because it's another scripture that I thought about as well. What talks about not going to the, Sirach 8:16, it says, strive not with an angry man and go not with them into a solitary place, which they wasn't even solitary. They was in a public place. It says, for blood is nothing in his sight, and where there is no help, he will overthrow thee. And that's what happened to them. All right. Dude, he wasn't carrying himself, and they were just out there carefree. Nobody could do nothing in that situation. So Jake played themselves, not being wise, and Jake couldn't stop being prideful, maintaining that grudge. So everybody involved, they all, took that L. We can all learn from these type of situations, man. Okay. So anyway, I'm pretty sure y'all know about this by now. It's all over the news. But I thought I'd do a lesson on it, just overall, just so that, those of us that are in the know, we understand how to, navigate. Because we still gotta be in this world, Yeah, we're not of this world, but we still gotta live in it. So, we have to encounter people, and these people right now, they off their rockers, man. So just be mindful, be circumspect, be sober, be vigilant. And that's pretty much that. And hopefully y'all were edified. I'm going to give all honor, praise, and glory to y'all, Bashem Yahweh Shai. And to the next lesson, Shalom.